welcome back to the channel. So today we will be solving this Google SQL interview question. It is a very important problem. You will learn a concept like self-join, and how to use how to filter the aggregated value, right? How to filter the aggregated value. So these two are the thing which you will learn over here. And we know how important the self-join is, right? So, and this is one of the pattern also. So wherever you see a single table, right, in a problem, so in most of the time you will find that if it is a little complicated problem, you will have to apply the self join, right? So this is one of the pattern basically. So if we see the input and output, so in the input table we have the employee data, right? Employee data, right? And we need to generate this output column or output table where we have single column, that is name. And in the input, if you see, we have four different column: ID, name, department, and manager ID. So basically this ID is nothing but the employee ID, right? Employee ID. So let's read out the challenge. Given the employee table, write a SQL query to find out managers with at least five direct reportees. Okay, so let me explain or break down this problem into this challenge into the multiple steps. So basically, if we see here this ID, employee ID 101, this the name of this employee is John, department is A, and he reports to none. That is, he doesn't report to anyone, right? Similarly, if you see here this employee with ID 102, his name is Dan. He is belong from department A and he reports to 101. That is Zon, right? Similarly, for all these three also, all these four guys also report to whom? Uh, these four guys also report to John, right? So there are total, let me write. So for 101, there are total five reportees, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are total five reportee who directly report to John. Let me write the name also. So we have John, right? Similarly, let's see for the other also, right? If we see the manager ID, we have we have two more employees. Uh, so basically, um, these two employees are also report to 103. So basically we have 103 and total two reportees are there. The name of 103 is Gems, right? So this is Gems. So basically these are the two employees where we have one or more direct reportees. But for the others, like let's say 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108. Let me remove these two. So we have 103, there we have two reportees. For 102, if we see, we don't have anyone who reports. So for this one 0, for this one 0, for this one 0, this one 0, this one 0, this one 0. Like none of the employees reports to these guys, right? So this is the one of the intermediate step basically, right? And now after generating this data, basically how many employees are there for each of these employees, and we have the numbers, basically how many employees report to them, then we can filter it out, right? So for filtering the aggregated data, we will use the having clause, right? Having clause. So if we see here, since this is greater than or equal to 5, that's why we can see the John in the answer, and the John, the employee ID 101, and the name is John, right? So this is our answer. So this is how we got John in the output. Let's see the approach in which we can solve. I think I have discussed like entire thing. It's just that I didn't tell you that how we will do this. So basically we will use the self join. We know, right? We will join employee with employee on so the first table will act as a employee ID and second table act as a manager ID, right? So like this, employee ID from the one table and it will be joined with the manager ID from the other table. Then the second step will be we will select the required thing and then we will group the data. we will group the data on employee ID to get, or we can say that the manager to get the count basically. And once we have the count, then we can use the having clause to get the required output, right? The condition will be in the having the count of reportee should be greater than equal to 5, right? So these are the 4 steps in which we can solve this problem. So now you know the approach. What you can do, you can pause the video and try it by yourself. Like you can code it by yourself, and one if you are getting stuck, then you may continue the video, right? Or unpause the video. So let's jump to our DWeaver console and code this solution, right? So let me jump over here. So this is the input data, right? So we discussed, we will start with self join. So we'll write select star from employee as T1 inner join. Why inner join? Because we only want um, we don't want entire record wherever it is not matching from the other table also, right? We don't want those records. So that's why inner join. We only want the matching record. So as T2, okay, and we can write on t1 dot, so we will consider this as id equal to t2 dot employee id, sorry, manager id, right? So what this condition means, from the table 1 we are selecting all the employees whose manager id is same, right? So we will get the data. Let me run this, then we will get okay, manager, this should be id. So let me run, okay, let me run this. Okay, now if you see, for this id 101, we have total corresponding uh, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106. So total 5 employees who reports to 101, right? Similarly, to 103, we have 107, 108. These are the 2 employees who reports to 103. So now we can say that this ID, or we can say that table 1 dot ID, we can say that as manager, comma, we can extract the table 1 dot name, this column. This is the name of the manager, as manager name, right? And we can get the name from id from here, so that will be t2 dot id as, we can say that employee, or we can say that reportee id, right? So let me run this again, then you will understand quick nicely. So now you can see that for John, we have these 5 reportee. For James, we have 107 and 108. These two are the reportees, right? Now we have all these things. So if you see here, like we can remove this column also, right? We don't want this. We just want the manager ID and the reportee ID. Manager and the reportee. We need this one just for the count, right? So these, now I think you understood, right? And for the other IDs or the name, we don't have any reportees. That's why they are not part of here. Yeah, right. So what we can do, we can put this in the CT. So we can write with CT as, and we can write select from CT group by, we will group by the data on the manager name, right? Manager, manager name. And once we group this, we can just have count 1, or we can say that count of reportee. You don't need this column also, but for the better understanding, we are keeping reportee ID, right? As okay, we actually don't need in the output, so I will not alias this. So let me run this. Okay, now you can see the count. For John, we have 5 reportee. For James, we have 2 reportee. But we don't need this column in the output, right? So what we can do, we can remove it from here, from the select, and write, okay, we can have the filter over here, having count of reportee ID greater than equal to 5, right? So we should have John in only in the output. Okay, now we have only John in the output. So yes, I think this is the output we need and we achieved also, right? So this is very small piece of code, but you saw, right? Like we learned a lot of things like self join and then aggregating the data and then filtering the aggregated values. So yes, if you like this content, please do like, subscribe, and share the channel. And if you're new to this channel, you can check out other playlist also. We have a lot of interview related content on SQL, PySpark, and you will find the DSA interview problem for the like the data role, right? And pandas questions also. I have uploaded less video for pandas, but yeah, you can find those also. So yes, let's meet in the next problem. Until then, bye.